and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of Power Up, your favorite superhero podcast. My name is D Marchese, aka the Beast NJ, and with me, as always, is my faithful sidekick and co-host, Gregory Virga.
I just wanted to say hello to all the ladies and gentlemen out there. Ellen DeGeneres, if you are watching, you know what this means for you.
What does it mean for her?
That this is the best superhero podcast.
Put you on the spot a little bit there, huh?
I got a little nervous, but I followed through. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, what do you got?
This is the best superhero podcast on the internet.
It is. It's their favorite. It's our favorite. Mostly because we do it, so it's naturally our favorite.
Retweet, I think is what the kids would say.
I think that is what the kids would say. So what's going on, man? How you doing?
Guys, wait, the last time I was doing the show, I had boils on my body. Guess who's boil free?
Boil free is the way to be, Greg.
Guys, I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost again. I lost all of my sunburn / boil tan. I don't want to say it's the saddest day of my life, but considering I only got to the beach 3 times this summer, and one of them turned out with me turning into Boil Man, I'm kind of happy.
Instead I have the sunburn on my face a little bit here.
You can't even tell, you beautiful man.
I get tan really quick because of my Italian skin, but I was only on the beach for
supposed to be Sicilian.
Probably an hour.
Are you like Italian, or are you like a branch of Italian?
Well, I don't really know what that means.
Like, I'm Sicilian, which is like Italian, but it's like
I understand. No, I'm Italian. Yeah, I think my family is from my ancestors are from northern Italy. I think.
Okay.
Not positive on that. I know I might have a little Sicilian inside of my blood vessels.
Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Please.
There is a town in Sicily called Virga. My last name.
That is a fun fact. There is a island in Italy called Capri, which my cousin is named after. Shout out to Capri out there. She's never watching this ever.
Big ups to Capri. Love you, Bubba.
Anything cool going on, man? Anything superhero related?
I want to say no. No, I got into digital comics a little bit more this week.
Great. What have you been reading?
I looked up, I think it's Comixology is the app I downloaded.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That is an app, yeah.
I downloaded it on my iPad, and they had a whole sale on DC Comics for Batman issues, like year 1, beautiful. I think it was, and stuff. So I just downloaded some stuff. I was flipping through some pages electronically.
Did you read anything yet? Like all the way through?
Not all the way through. I just started, I think it was, is Earth 1 a story?
Earth 1 is a story, yeah.
That's what I started.
I own them, and I haven't read them ever yet. I have them in hardback. They were given to me as a gift.
Oh, see, hardcover makes me happy.
I have them right here. I have Batman Earth 1, and then I have Superman Earth 1 as well. I have 2 volumes of that. I haven't read them yet, but I'm looking forward to them. Right now, I actually started reading Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman this week.
Yeah, he came back in a big way, and everyone's kind of to do a little bit of a rumor roundup, contemplating whether or not he's going to bring back the Joker into that series.
Yeah, that would be cool. I started a while back. I got maybe into like issue 2, and then life happened, and I just kind of wasn't able to keep going, so I just started back from the beginning. And I'm 3 issues into volume 1 right now. Loving it, dude. Really, really good. Scott Snyder's an excellent writer.
He's phenomenal.
Really, really good. As for everything else, I've been catching up with some DC animated movies. I had a list, and I'm just
hit it to the beat. Oh, what is the website? I wanted to ask you again. Now we can do this on the show and promote it somewhere.
KissCartoon.com.
You know what I put in my web browser instead?
What?
CartoonsReUs.com. You know what came up?
What?
Toys R Us.
That makes sense, yeah. No, this is KissCartoon.com. It has everything. I even looked up some stuff that I potentially might want to watch like later, like the Green Lantern animated series, Beware the Batman, stuff that was like only on for a minute or 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they have it, dude. They have everything.
I want to watch the it's not Teen Titans, but it was like the Teen Titans. It was like Little Heroes.
Young
what is
Justice?
It called? Young Justice.
Yeah, they have that too. They have everything.
Also named by Greg Virga Little Heroes. Everybody.
They have everything in HD 1080p. You can watch it. It's clear as day. It's crazy.
Can I have 1090p or do they not?
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they get away with this.
Yeah.
But there's no downloading involved, so there's no security risk for you.
It just doesn't make sense.
You just stream and watch. It's got the Flash YouTube video player right on the website. And
do you think it's Batman?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was behind it. Tell you what.
Big ups to Terry McGinnis.
So I watched. What did I watch? I haven't watched any more Batman Beyond. I watched A Crisis on Two Earths, which was okay.
Oh, that was a good one.
You like that one? I thought it was okay. I like
that one.
But I had just come off Justice League Doom, which was great.
Oh, that's a great one.
Justice League Doom was really, really good.
Doom is one of my favorites, I think, in like most recent films. That's definitely probably up there. That might be one of my. That is my favorite.
It had that original Justice League cast, which I think helped it out a lot. And then Crisis on Two Earth had it had a lot of. It had freaking James Woods as like the Owl Man.
Yeah, I didn't know what that even meant.
Billy Baldwin of the Baldwin Brothers as Batman. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
He's like the only non-famous Baldwin, and they picked him too.
Yeah.
No offense to the Baldwins, we love you.
Whatever, they're okay.
We might have Alec on the show one day. You never know.
Oh, Alec Baldwin, you can come on anytime. I'm a big fan of Alec Baldwin. But what else did I watch? Oh, I started watching Assault on Arkham with Kevin Conroy and Troy Baker.
They have that?
They do, yeah. They have all the.
I want to see
all of them. Justice League War, all the recent ones. Batman vs. Robin. They have everything, dude.
No, I never watched Assault on Arkham. I want to watch that.
It's good. I started it and it was really late and I fell asleep, so I got to actually finish that back half of that. But I loved what I saw. I'm gonna post the link. I'm gonna say right here for you guys. KissCartoon.com. So yeah, give them a shout out. They're really cool. I've been using them to watch all my.
We love you, whoever runs that website.
Yeah. Yep.
Mutual love.
Anything else you want to check into before we get into some news?
Boil free.
Check. Boil free. Check.
Boil free. Check. Bought new sunscreen that's not expired. Check. Will I make it to the beach by the end of the summer? I will keep in touch and let you guys know on the next episode.
Sounds great. With that behind us, let's get into some news here, my friend.
We're doing some news on Power Up, superheroes and stuff.
That was fucking awesome, Greg.
Thank you.
Story number 1. The Arrow Lair is receiving an upgrade, Greg.
What?
Yeah, for season 4 of the Arrow, which are they going to call this Green Arrow? Are they going to change the name of the series?
Okay, don't even start joking and playing with my emotions because I'll cry right here live on the show.
He came out at Comic-Con fully dressed, Stephen Amell, fully dressed in the new Arrow getup, and he was like, I am the Green Arrow. Everybody flipped out, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I'm wondering, are they going to change? Probably not going to change the name of the show.
I don't think they'll change the name of the show only because I don't know if they can like legally do that, like with publication and stuff, like because they have Arrow patented. As far as him being called Green Arrow, I think in the show they're definitely going to do that. I think
that's pretty much confirmed right now.
Yeah. And then as far as this layer upgrade goes, it definitely needs to happen considering the old one got demolished last season.
So bringing it back around, let's check out the layer, and I'm going to read you guys a quote we had here, which I don't know who wrote this quote.
I want you to, since we don't know, I want you to read it in a British accent.
Done. Consider it done. Here we go. Here's a look at the lair, courtesy of Entertainment Weekly.
Leave it up while you read the British quote.
It looks really cool.
It looks like they're about to form like the Justice League round table.
Really official. If I can kind of see in the far left-hand side, right? There's 4 screens above this chair on the far left, and it looks like that's the Flash.
Wait, what?
Do we not see this? There's like 4 monitors, a yellow one, a blue one, and then at the top there's like a red suited figure.
Well, you have great eyesight, sir.
Do you see what I'm talking about now?
Yes, I do.
It kind of looks like the Flash. And then we have like a wall of suits back here. Looks like we got a shot of Felicity just strutting her stuff on the dance floor in the background.
I know. I don't know. It's like her club. Her club section. She just kind of goes with it.
His car is a sweet sports car and the Arrow cycle down there.
That is the exact car that they took off in at the end of season 3.
Oh, nice.
Spoiler alert.
Well, this looks great. I'm really impressed.
I'm stoked for this. The thing that gets me the most excited about this layer is that table, because look at all the chairs around it. We now have spoilers, guys, for Arrow, just in case you're not caught up. Fast forward like 2 minutes, if that. And we have Speedy now, who's definitely going to probably be a part of it. We have Arrow, we have Flash, we have more Flashes coming with this alternate universe. Hawkgirl, possibly. I'm so stoked. DC's Legends of Tomorrow, lest we forget.
Yeah. And this quote I'm going to read will touch on his new team. Okay, you got it. In designing the new lair, we had to think in terms of a much larger group that Oliver has now surrounded himself with, and how Team Arrow is a much bigger enterprise. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Greg. Thank you so much.
I even did a soul clap for you.
It looks really cool, though. Where do you think this is located?
Oh, it can't be at Verdant anymore, the club. because everybody knows of that lair.
Right.
People literally just don't care. They have walked into that and bombed it and
Right.
yeah, destroyed that one. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be back in Queen Consolidated, because if we remember in season 3, Ray Palmer has Felicity sign the deed to become the president of that tower.
Good call. Good point.
So that's where I was kind of basing my info on that, being in that tower.
Oh, and this is now also from that same Comic-Con video. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're fine. That's all I had to say.
Star City? It's officially Star City now.
Yeah.
It's not Starling anymore.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, so they're trying to really... That's what's so kind of great and frustrating about Arrow is like they paved the right walkway, so to speak, to like really build. They're like really trying to flesh out the DC universe, which is really, really cool. But then sometimes they just trip up on the way.
Yeah, just because they want to. I think they wanted to do like comic book like Easter eggs, but kind of keep it in a relevant manner for random people to come on and be like, oh, cool, Starling City. I don't have to read the comics to come into the show. But now that they realize that their main audience is all the people that read the comic books, I think now they're just catering to fans at this point and being like,
really
listen,
paying off. I have to say, because thinking like we started off with the Hood, who then turned into the Arrow, who is now the Green Arrow from Starling City, which is now Star City, and like it's just doing such a great job and like showing us who this guy is, how he came to be such a important member of the Justice League later on.
One thing Stephen Amell already confirmed will never happen, so don't get excited for this, guys. He will never have the traditional goatee that Green Arrow has.
No, but I think he's got a nod to that anyway with his little scruff beard, which is fine with me.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't really care about the goatee, but
I wish I had it with me right now, but I have a vinyl pop figure of Green Arrow with his little scruffy gruff. Jen got it for me for an early birthday gift, but she's hanging on to it till my birthday, so I don't have it to show off right now. But he's going to go right back there next to the old Flash and the rest of the Justice League. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited to get you more pop vinyls.
You don't need to buy me anything, Greg. I just want your love and affection, that's all.
You have that. Tenfold. That got creepy. That got Lovely Bones-esque. I got a little scared.
I'm a little bit. I'm going to be watching my shoulder when I go to bed.
Sleep with one eye open.
Moving
Assault
on
on Dean's
to
Place.
story number 2.
This one's exciting.
It is very exciting, yeah, and it's surprising to me. Matt Ryan is confirmed to guest star John Constantine on Arrow for one episode only. The details on this role include him resurrecting someone. Who do we think that might be, Greg?
I don't know. They say it's a pivotal member of the Arrow team, so like, let's be real. Sarah Lance, obviously, this has to be the way she comes back. We already know she's confirmed as White Canary in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and she's my favorite Canary. Sorry, Laurel, no offense. But like, I love Katie Cassidy as the actress who plays her. She is just so good at everything in life. When she came out and originally was the Black Canary.
Wait, I thought Katie Cassidy was the Black Canary we don't like.
Wait, pause. Am I getting this mixed up? Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're 100% right. Katie Cassidy's Laurel that we don't like. Katie Lotz is
well, that's confusing.
Sarah.
2 Katies.
There are 2 Katies. I got the last names mixed up.
Yeah.
But Katie Lotz actually spells her name with a C. The other one's with a K. So that's how I should have known. I'm so sorry, Katie Lotz. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this has to be the way that she brings back Sarah Lance. Well, the thing that scares me about this is Sarah Lance has been in a grave now for like 7 months.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder like how this is gonna be. Is it gonna be like a Thea Queen in the Ra's al Ghul pit coming out and beating everybody up? One of my favorite scenes of season 3, or how this is all going to work out. What this does get me intrigued for, Dino, it makes me want to watch season 1 of Constantine.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I think I might do that before season 4 of Arrow premieres.
Maybe I watch that alongside you, Greg, because I would like to kind of learn. I mean, it is just for one episode, but it's one season, and it's not coming back, obviously, so it might be worth a watch, you know?
100%. A lot of people seem to love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to like it, so I'm willing to give it a shot. Hit me with it.
Matt Ryan, who plays Constantine, also Edward Kenway, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
No.
True story.
I love him. Now I have to watch his show.
Yeah, there you go. I thought you would like that. You guys might not know. Greg is a big Assassin's Creed fan. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan myself.
I love Assassin's Creed.
I think out of the whole Level Up network, you and I are probably the bigger Assassin's Creed fans. I know Andrew really doesn't like it at all, and Mike kind of just tolerates it.
Yeah. And I buy all of the stuff.
I usually buy. I've played all of them except for Liberations.
I played that one. That's a good. You need to play that one. That's a good one.
And Assassin's Creed Rogue. Did you play that one?
Rogue is the one I missed, but it's
Yeah.
supposed to come to PS4 soon, so hopefully we get that.
Huh, that would be cool.
I don't do PC games, ladies and gents.
It's on PS3.
Yeah,
PS3 and Xbox 360, but that's what that was. They had the one version for last gen, one version for this gen. So
we don't
see
mess
what
with
happens. But moving on here, we have new Flash promotional artwork has given us our first look at Jay Garrick, played by Teddy Sears, who you may know from American Horror Story or Masters of Sex, which I've never heard of.
It's an HBO show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or Showtime. It's one of those. It's one of the fancier networks.
Yeah, he's a relatively unknown actor, though, correct?
Yeah, very much.
I don't really know him from anything, but we did get a look at Jay Garrick's helmet in the whole time crisis in Flash season 1. So let's pull up. We have the image right here. We see they recreated the comic book. I forget what number issue this Flash issue is, but it's exactly the same, just with live action.
So basically what we're saying in this image, and it's a girl instead of a guy on the ground, BT
Right.
dubs.
Yeah,
what we're seeing from this is that this is the best thing that ever happened to the world.
Yeah.
I was already stoked because I originally didn't even realize his helmet popped out of the portal until we did a reaction time on it on the channel. And then you pointed it out to me and I was like, wait a second, what? And I went back and watched that whole sequence of all the stuff happening on the Flash where it's going back and forth. And I was freaking out. So obviously he has to make an appearance, right?
Yeah, it was the one part, the helmet kind of pops out of the portal, and I think it's his name eludes me now because the show's been off for a while. Dr. Wells. When Dr. Wells he sees the helmet pop on the ground, he's like, "That's my cue."
Yeah,
and he splits really quickly. But yeah, let's get another. We get another look here. It's
so beautiful. It's just pretty.
It looks really cool how they just shot for shot recreated this. Pretty much.
I really like Garrick's costume a lot in live action. I think it translated very well.
Yeah, they did a good job at making it look like old-timey, also but not too cheesy. It kind of fits in with this universe, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Especially
my only
the
one
helmet
thing
itself is very cheesy.
Yeah, the helmet is very cheesy. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
The one thing I kind of my eye was first drawn to is they sort of made the Flash look like a big dumb baby.
Yes. Agreed.
What is that magazine? What is the magazine I'm thinking of where they have that big stupid kid face? And they kind of is it Mad Magazine?
Oh yeah.
That's what this Flash kind of looks like. It looks like the Mad Magazine kid.
Yeah. No, that's 100% true. I don't know why they just put him in that pose. Like that's just not a nice pose to put him in. Like you have so many good pictures of him.
It's very strange. And I think
he does have the white chest symbol though. Nice to know.
He does have the white chest symbol, which we got a good shot of that in some other promotional artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just not a flattering position for him. Also, I'm not sure. I don't think the actors actually posed for this. I think this is just a graphic artist made this up.
Oh yeah. No, he made this up, but just say like you could have pulled a better picture, sir.
Yeah,
but I guess
with you there.
I guess he wanted to use the white chest symbol a lot more, just to kind of take from what we know in the show is coming to be in the show. So yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm stoked for everything that's happening in Flash season 2. Season 1 was right up there with Daredevil as my favorite superhero show of last year. Or this year, I should say. Greg
and I both really loved it. If you guys want to check out our reaction times to all the episodes in season 1, you just go head over to, well, if you're watching the show, you're already here on youtube.com/level up show, level spelled LVL. And you can find all those. I think they're in a playlist, so they should be pretty easy to find.
Yes, they are.
But yeah, we're excited. So moving on to number 4 on the docket, Zach Galifianakis to voice the Joker in Lego The Batman Movie. Pretty cool.
This is awesome. What I want to point out to everybody is I read the story. I kind of thought it was weird, but then Dino pointed out to me that he's voice acted in a bunch of other games. Do you want to tell the kids what else he's worked in?
Yeah, he's done some smaller roles on The Simpsons, American Dad, and these are just the ones I pulled. There's a handful of other ones too, actually. And his biggest voice acting role was in Puss in Boots, the spin-off of the Shrek series. He played Humpty Dumpty in that, which was like the film's I don't really remember. I think it was the film's main villain. But yeah, he played the bigger role in that, so he has had experience voice acting. As far as the Joker, how do we feel?
I want to ask you how you feel about this because you're more of a Lego nerd than I am.
I am a big Lego fan. I love the Lego games specifically, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can really. I need to hear something before I can kind of like feel out how the rest of it's gonna go.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I can see this though, personally.
I mean, he's famous. Maybe that'll sell some copies of the game for people, but who knows? I don't know if he could do a good Joker. I know he's like crazy maniacal in all of his roles, and he's good with comedy. So like I can give him that credit. I'll throw him that bone. But other than that, I don't even know if I'm picking up any Lego games, let alone I'll probably see the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah.
I probably will see that because I did see the Lego movie. I enjoyed that a lot. But just the game, as far as like the games go and stuff, I'm just not really a big Lego guy.
Yeah, which is understandable. It's not for everybody, but
Yeah.
it's interesting. I mean, he'll have no trouble with the humorous aspects of the Joker, I'm sure, but I don't know. Time will tell what we feel about the voice.
Stay tuned. We'll give a review on Zach Galifianakis as the Joker.
There you go. You heard it here first. Moving on to number 5, a really exciting one. Captain America Civil War set photos gives us our first look at the Black Panther, Greg.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of
This movie is gonna be. Can I just say something to you?
Yeah, what do you got?
This is what I'm thinking about Captain America. So you know how we're getting 3 Captain America films? They keep referring to it as this trilogy that we're getting. Stay with me here. Ready?
Okay.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War. Same exact caliber on all 3 films. Do you agree?
I would hope that Civil War is better than The Dark Knight Rises. I didn't think The Dark Knight Rises was the best part of that trilogy, honestly. I thought it was probably the weakest of the 3.
Well, yeah, I just don't think... We've talked about this multiple times before about Winter Soldier not being able... That's our favorite movie. We ranked it in an official Power Up list.
Yeah.
For the Marvel side of superhero movies anyway. Winter Soldier just did things to me, Dean, and I'm so excited for Civil War, but like I don't know if it can do those same things. But let's show them the images of Black Panther, and
yeah, let's see
if they'll get the feels.
It's important to remember with these images that, well, first of all, don't talk about that one on the right yet. We're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at the Black Panther overall. It does kind of look like it has that white piping that we saw in the promotional images.
Yes.
Looks, kind of baggy, not real muscly, some kind of weird texture on it, but it's important to remember that the suits for the stuntmen is always kind of weird.
Yeah,
are always kind of weird. Excuse me.
And they add a bunch of post effects on when they're going.
There's always post effects, and then the actual actor's suit for the close-ups and stuff is always the most highly detailed version. So you got to take these images with a grain of salt. These are absolutely stuntmen.
100% they are, but even looking at this though, like this still kind of makes me excited. I'm just excited Black Panther is gonna be in a movie. Like what? Like how crazy is that? That's so insane.
Let me tell you what I like about this is that they're not afraid, and Marvel being them in this instance, they're not afraid to leave the mask on. They're heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like it was such a thing for a while. Like, oh, we got a good actor. We gotta show his face. We gotta show that handsome $1 million face to make the money on the posters. But like more and more lately, Marvel's been like, this is their uniform. You leave their helmet, you leave their mask on. That's the way they look.
Especially reminiscent of Captain America. The whole, most of the promotional art for that series is Cap standing front and center, and then everybody else kind of surrounding him. They usually like to throw Samuel L. Jackson on that poster. That usually just gives a star appeal, and his isn't really a mask so much as just an eye patch. Yeah. But yeah, no, for sure. And then you have like Scarlett Johansson and people that don't wear masks. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. You
can see it going that way even with just the Captain America, the First Avengers, the main cover for the Blu-ray home release. It was him in his full uniform, no helmet, no mask. He's just looking straight ahead, so you could see it was Chris Evans. Winter Soldier's main Blu-ray release cover art was just Captain America, helmet on, shield up, and I was like, this is what we need to be happening here.
This is what we need our lives to end up being. I want my life to be that.
Yeah, who doesn't? So back to these images. We might notice along the right side here, Sir Bucky Barnes, perhaps?
I'm not gonna bring it up because you told me not to, but now we can bring it up.
Yeah, you can bring it up now.
What do we think is happening with Bucky? Like Bucky, the last time we saw him was the end credit sequence of Ant-Man, right? That was the last time we saw him. And he looked pretty torn up. He looked pretty beat up. And they referenced bringing in Tony Stark to kind of help them out, and they're like, "No, Tony wouldn't approve of this."
Yeah.
What do we think is he gonna be like normal Bucky? Is he? I think he's gonna have some like post-traumatic stress disorder.
He's gonna be on his way to being normal Bucky, I think. And I think the Civil War footage description that we'll talk about a little bit later mentions him. Does it not?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so we'll get to that later, but it's key to know right here. It is a stunt double, but that's definitely Winter Soldier. That's Bucky rather, because you can see his metal arm first of all.
Yeah.
And in the other photos, we see them kind of jumping down from the structure. Everyone's kind of jumping down. It doesn't look like they're hostile at all. It looks like they're doing some reconnaissance.
Yeah, it looks like they're spying more.
Which
yeah,
is
more so than anything
really
else.
the key
Reconnaissance
thing
a good word.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
That's a good word.
I feel like that's really key to notice here, though. Is they're very non-hostile. It seems like they're working together. I have a theory about what's going on here. If you're interested,
Hit me with. I love your theories.
Okay.
Your theories. We need to make that a segment on the show. BT Dubs.
Dean's theories, something like that.
Yes.
So here's the theory. I feel like, well, you know what? Let's get to the next batch of images here first. We have a look actually at Captain America. Looks like the same situation.
Yeah, same
Although
thing.
He
I think
looks a little bit more aggravated in this photo.
Yeah, he looks a little bit angrier than everybody else, but I like that you point out the spying aspect of it, because we've seen in the past Captain America films, the solo films themselves, the spin-offs of just the Captain America movies themselves, they always have more of like a spy action thriller feel to them, rather than a superhero movie. Because at the end of the day, he is a man. Like, I don't know if he could be going up against all these other people. We'll see in Infinity War with everybody coming down. And...
Well, just to talk about Cap real quick. It is a little bit baggier, like we said. It's the stunt man here, obviously, but the suit looks fucking great, dude.
Yeah, the suit looks phenomenal.
It looks so good. I like that they added a little more red into it. Like, took some more direction from Age of Ultron. It looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I just love his suit. His costumes is one of my favorite superhero costumes in general.
Yeah, they did a nice job on that for sure. But then to the right, we see him jumping down from the structure, which looks like it could be a similar scene to the one we see over here with Bucky and Black Panther, and also noticeably attached to a harness getting ready to jump down. There's some other set photos online where they're also all jumping down from this structure.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering if this is maybe Tony's new facility and maybe they're trying to spy on him altogether or something. So the theory I was talking about is that this is probably going to be the only time we get Black Panther. I think maybe we'll see him out of uniform earlier on in the film, and then he'll show up here to kind of help them get Bucky to Cap. You know what I mean? Which will lead us into the scene where he's finally safe with Cap and Falcon.
So you don't think they're going to know who Black Panther is, or you think they're going to know?
I think Steve will know, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you meant originally like he was going to meet them all in person and then just kind of follow them and help them out.
No, I think Steve knows who he is.
Okay.
I think at this point in the film, though, Bucky doesn't really know what's going on yet. I think he's just following them, and he probably recognizes Cap.
Bucky's just messed up.
He's real messed up, yeah.
Bucky needs to get his life back together.
So overall, though,
hopefully we see that in this film.
Yeah, I think it seems like we're going to, but only time will tell. But overall, how do we feel about this new first look at Black Panther? Yay,
I'm
nay?
happy.
You need to see more?
I'm so happy with it. I was sold on Black Panther as just a concept and an idea. To throw him into Captain America Civil War is only going to make this movie better, I feel like. A lot of people are getting worried and stressed out that this movie is going to be too bloated, but I think especially with your theory right there, with him coming out and just doing like the one-off thing that leads us into major other events that'll happen in the Captain America film, I think that's perfect.
I think they'll use him briefly. It'll be cool to see him in there with his suit on and everything, though.
Oh, for sure.
He'll probably get a little bit of action too, I would imagine. But yeah, I like it as well. I think I do need to see a little bit more. I think based on this and the promo images, it's kind of hard to tell what exactly we're getting into, because it does look pretty significantly different than the promotional art.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see. They're very good at keeping secrets. So
yes,
we'll see when the movie probably releases. That'll probably be the next time we actually see the actual Black Panther. Realized suit, not the stunt doubles.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, actually. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we think. Let us know what you guys think about the Black Panther first look in the comments below.
Needless to say, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think everybody's really excited. I think you're going to be excited about this next news story as well. Because it's about your girl, Supergirl, son.
Oh my god, we all know, guys. I just want to point out before you read the story, my favorite superheroes are the females, because I think the females don't get enough credit in the superhero realm. Batgirl being my favorite, and now we're getting a Supergirl television show.
We sure are, and with that, CBS sets Supergirl right up against Fox's Gotham on Mondays this fall at 8 p.m.
Dean,
what's up? What do you got?
Which show are you going to watch at 8 p.m.? On Mondays in the fall? Are you going to watch Gotham or are you going to watch Supergirl?
Realistically, neither. Because I have no interest in this right now, and I am thoroughly uninterested in Gotham because of what
Barbara
it was already before this. Yeah. But I will give you this. When they start in the fall, I will be checking out Supergirl.
Okay, cool. I like that.
And if it's good, I'll watch. If it's not giving me what I want, we'll get into it at the end of why I'm a little bit held back on this, but let's get through the story here first.
Okay.
So yeah, they set up against Fox's Gotham this fall at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. The executive producer Greg Berlanti confirmed Superman does in fact exist in this world.
What?
Really exciting. We did see some
fun.
shots of him in some of the earlier teasers and trailers and stuff, so that's cool.
Kal-El and Kara together. I'm sorry, you have to watch the show. Keep going. I'm so excited.
CBS also confirmed promotional materials will link the universes of Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl.
Wait.
I'm excited about that.
Do you want to reread that one for the kids, Dean? Because I don't think they know.
CBS also confirmed promotional materials will link the universes of Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl.
This makes me so happy that you read that like Dory from Finding Nemo when she talks to the whales.
Slow motion.
Oh. Well, I'll go with both as exciting. Wait, but can we just discuss that everybody was thinking this because CBS and CW are co-owned networks. They're very much linked to each other. The same, I don't know if it's like CEO or CFO, whatever the hell, but somebody owns both the networks. They can coincide with one another. So everyone was talking about this, linking them. And then it gets even better. Tell the kids the quote that Greg Berlanti gave.
Here we go. Quote, "If Greg Berlanti can make it work, it will happen," end quote, in reference to an actual crossover episode between the three superheroes. That's cool. I'm not even as excited about Supergirl, but that's really cool. I just love that they have this whole building a shared universe, what Marvel did in the films on the silver screen on television, which is crazy.
Can I tell you something, Dean? If I see Melissa Benoist, Stephen Amell, and Grant Gustin, who play Supergirl, Arrow, and The Flash, respectively,
yeah,
I will lose my freaking nerd mind. I can't tell you the feels that I have going on for Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell already.
Yeah,
you have Melissa Benoist into that. No words can come out of my mouth.
I don't know her work
so
that much,
excited,
but I do love the two. I love Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin.
See, I was a big Glee fan.
Okay.
She was on Glee. I liked her.
Oh,
in that.
well,
And
that makes sense because Grant Gustin was also from Glee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They both did a Glee. They did like a Glee workshop together, and then he didn't come onto the show because then he got picked up for Flash. But then she was on a full season of Glee, and she was awesome. That she has a very good singing voice. So if Kara's a singer, let's just say I'll love her a little bit more.
So this is really exciting. I'm excited. Just about the possibilities here. Now, the reason I was talking about it earlier, I'm a little like reluctant, is because some of the lines in these trailers, dude, are like pretty brutal.
Yeah, they're
the most recent one, she was like, what did she say? I don't even know. It was seriously something along the lines of like, "The city's safe now because we have Supergirl." And I was like, oh my god, they did not write that shit.
It's gonna be good. I think the pilot is gonna be horrendous. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
I think the pilot's gonna have some cool stuff, but just from that pilot trailer that we saw with like the boss who played Ally McBeal and like all these people, like I don't know about all that aspect of it, but like just seeing Supergirl, like the action sequences in that show, the budget looks off the charts incredible. Like this looks better. Like the special effects look better than the Flash and Arrow, and that's saying something because those shows don't even get a big budget. So now to have like that level of special effects, but with the money to back it up, oh my god, I'm stoked. Yeah, in the pilot episode, she saves a whole jet plane from going down.
That scene did look really impressive, actually, from what we could see. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna watch the pilot, and then I'm gonna give it about 3 episodes. I think that's fair.
I'm gonna give it the whole season 1.
Are you really?
And if they get
you
picked
watch
up,
a whole bunch of it and it's not good, you're gonna just keep watching it?
Oh no, if it's not good, I'm gonna do the same. Well, I'm lying too because I did that with Gotham. I waited till the whole end, and I hated that show. But the finale, look what happened. It ended up paying off. What I hate, like I started Arrow, lest we forget, and season 1 of Arrow was brutal. Like,
I actually really liked season 1 of Arrow.
See, I hated it, and I fell off the show. And then when they put season 2 up, and they were talking about like who was it? Slade Wilson coming into the show and everything. He was the main villain of season 2, right? That didn't happen until season 2. Yeah. And then like that all happened, and then Netflix put season 1 on. I rewatched season 1, and I was like, I'll do this for season 2, and then it paid off in the end. So I'm thinking the same thing's gonna happen with Supergirl. I think it's gonna start off sluggish, but then pick back up.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. If I get word that like, yo, you gotta watch this, it really turned into something great, I'll obviously start it up again. But
who are you gonna get word from?
I'm gonna give it a fair share. I'm gonna give it a handful of episodes, but there's just so much going on. There's so much we do. There's so many shows coming on. There's so many games to play. I don't have time to be wasting time on like something that's not really like full Monty good.
if it's Melissa Benoist, I can give her all of my life.
I hope so. I hope
her.
you're right about it, honestly. We're going to breeze through this one real quick. Number 7 on the list, Marvel plans hip-hop covers for their issues in October. DC is planning Looney Tunes covers for their issue in November.
Not gonna lie, DC has better covers. I'm obsessed with the Looney Tunes. You guys can go check out the images for yourself online. But
I didn't get a chance to pull them, but I did see a couple of them.
Yeah, no worries. Essentially, Marvel's planning on doing like hip hop covers in the vein of like Run DMC, like old school 80s hip hop and 90s hip hop album covers. With their
essentially
superheroes.
like variant comic book covers.
Exactly. And then DC's doing the same thing, but with Looney Tunes. One of the Looney Tunes ones had me dying laughing. It's Superman. It's Bugs Bunny as Superman, and he's pointing to, I forget the superhero he's pointing to, but it's Daffy Duck is dressed up as another superhero, and he's just pointing at him all maniacally. And oh my god, it's just so funny. I love that they're able to cross over and do fun stuff like this.
There was a really good Miles Morales one with his face split.
Yes, I saw that one.
And then there's a Spider-Man one. Actually, of Lil Wayne's The Carter 4.
Yep.
It's called like Spidey the Parker 2 or something like that.
It's so good. Yeah, that's the thing. Even the titles of the covers are in the same vein. It's not just the artwork itself too. Like they go all out for these things, and they look really, really good.
Yeah, out loud it sounds like a weird thing to do.
Oh, it sounds so dumb.
But it's kind of awesome. The way they turned out is kind of great. Yeah.
For sure.
But
I just wanted to include that in the news, guys. Go check out the covers for yourselves, and then you'll be able to buy the issues yourself.
Yeah, you can go to for the, I don't know about the DC ones, for the Marvel ones, I'm browsing through them now. It's at theboombox.com.
And all of the images are up on IGN. If you go, you just search Marvel and DC variant covers for the fall, and it'll come right up. And they have the full gallery of every single cover that's going to be releasing. Marvel is coming in October, and the DC ones are in November, just to differentiate the dates.
Oh my god, they're really good, actually. You should definitely check them. The Astonishing Ant Ready to Shrink is the best shit.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It's a baby. It's a baby in an Ant-Man costume, just sitting on the ground, kind of like looking up all stupid.
You guys need to check them out. Trust me.
They're actually really cool. Yeah,
they're very, very cool. That's why I had to throw them in the news. I'm like, please, they need to be spoken about.
I'm glad you threw it in now, because I'm actually gonna go and check out the rest of these later on. But moving on, number 8.
Oh.
Fantastic Four by Fox could lose over $60 million due to the flop in the box office, pulling in an estimated $26.2 million, which is less than half of the Ant-Man opening weekend, which was $58 million.
Fantastic Four, I want to point out, has been out, 2 weeks already?
Yes, this was the second weekend we just passed through.
The number, 26.2 million, that's how much the movie's made over 2 weeks. Yeah. Ant-Man, in its 3-day opening weekend, made more than half of that.
And Ant-Man,
or more than double that,
notably, was being talked about as like one of the lower grossing box office.
That's what all of Marvel, like, what?
And Fantastic Four hit less than half of it.
In 2 weeks. That's crazy.
It's funny because like $26 million in 2 weeks sounds great to us.
Yeah.
But in reality, when these people make these movies, it's probably like some of these are like I don't know, like $100 million projects. Like they didn't even make their money back.
Yeah, the money that they're set to lose on that, $60 million. So needless to say, answering our question from last week, do you think Fox is going to continue with the Fantastic Four? I think their best bet now is to let Marvel buy them out and let Marvel do a Fantastic Four film, or just lock it up and just keep that a Marvel property that we don't see in live
I don't
action.
even know if Marvel wants them anymore, because they're kind of phasing them out in the comics even. I think they're really like getting ready to just be like, it's your problem now. You screwed it up. Now you're going to have to lie in your bed that you made.
Yeah.
But I think if they were smart, they would try and sell the rights back to Marvel. Marvel could get those rights in really cheap, probably, because they're desperate at this point to make their money back from the film. Yeah. So Marvel could buy the rights cheap and then just sit on the property for a while, or maybe introduce them like they're doing with Spider-Man. Pop them in a movie for a minute here and there. Maybe in like a Secret Wars movie, they could have them pop up somewhere.
Or just have Sue Storm show up at like Avengers headquarters, like researching stuff, like just weird Easter eggs.
But later,
like...
they need to breathe. They need time to breathe. So this I added in here, from the first weekend to the second weekend, the film has dropped 69% in its second weekend.
Currently, while we're shooting this podcast on Rotten Tomatoes, it has gone down from last week's 9% to a astonishing 7%.
Oh god, it's really bad.
It's just 7% out of 100.
It's really, really bad. You guys can check out our review of that in episode 3 right here on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't have really too many nice things to say about it. And since then, you've seen it. Is there anything you agree or disagree with me in my review?
I agree with you 100% on everything. Sue Storm was awesome. Yeah. I'll tell you guys right here. There's a scene in the movie, and this is where it goes downhill for me. The beginning is good. It's not great. It's just good.
Are we going to talk about the scene? Should we give him a little spoiler warning?
I'm just gonna. This sounds like a. I'm gonna talk about that. I'll just gonna say it. This is what happens. Okay.
Well, spoiler warnings. We'll say spoiler warnings.
For Fantastic Four: The Reboot. Okay, here we go. Fast forward a minute and a half to 2 minutes. This is not gonna be long. There's a specific scene in the movie where they're working on this machine to travel and teleport to another planet and another dimension. They're working on it. The scene where it goes downhill for me is when they actually go to the planet. They all get drunk one night and they travel to the planet. They all get their powers.
That happens. They all get drunk one night and travel to the planet in a Fantastic Four movie.
This is how they get their powers. And then the way all 4 of the members get their powers is the crappiest, worst. Like, I was watching it and I was cringing at how bad it was. Literally, Johnny Storm's pod, so to speak, breaks open and he gets lit on fire. That's how he gets his fire powers. Ben Grimm, the Thing, gets hit by a rock. They're like, that's how he becomes the Thing. What's his name? Miles Teller, Mr. Fantastic, is crawling to Ben Grimm in the wreckage when they teleport back to Earth, and is crawling and then turns around and he's like, my legs are all stretching now. I'm like, oh my god. And Sue is the worst in this scene. This is the one scene I hated her in.
Yeah.
She's trying to help them get back and teleport
them back. She's not even there.
Here.
She's not even on the planet with them, by the way.
Yeah, she doesn't go to the planet with them.
She's back at home on the space station thing.
And this is no joke. If you're watching the video, you have to be watching the video if you're not listening to the audio to see this. She's typing on the keyboard like this. Like, I would be pretending to type on the keyboard, like just smashing it, trying to get them back. It was the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. It was so astonishing. And then needless to say, I'm like, how is Sue going to get her power? She wasn't even on the planet. When they come back in the pod, she gets hit on the floor and legitimately turns invisible.
Yep.
That's where the movie went downhill for me. And then the rest hour is just hell. Because then there's no pacing. They did not do any... Like, there was no point where it was just like, okay, now you can breathe here, accept the fact that this is all happening. It was like every 10 minutes, 7 years later, 6 months later, here's this happening. And I just couldn't, like, accept any of the facts that were happening.
It went downhill for me a lot earlier, honestly. It was...
Really?
Even from the part they introduced Johnny Storm, he comes in... The first time he meets Reed, again, spoiler warnings, just little ones. Not that you should really give a shit, honestly, about this.
Yeah, true.
But he's like, he walks in, he looks over at Reed Richards, and Reed's like, I could use some help, and he's like, hey, I'm Johnny. What you need, buddy? Just like that, brothers for life. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Come on.
And the one thing I had to disagree with, Michael B. Jordan, I get the whole sibling thing. I did find him funny in some scenes, though. My favorite scene of the entire film, which is not saying a lot for it, but there's one scene where they're all working really late. They're all up in the lab, and they're all working on the teleporter. Miles Teller goes to, like high-five him, like Michael B. Jordan, because Michael B. Jordan puts out his fist. So he goes to, like, high-five him awkwardly, and I was cackling at that scene.
That was funny, but you know what? It was like one of the only funny scenes in the movie, and they spoiled it for me by putting it in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, all right, well, that would have been funny, but now it's not because you were... Well, what did you think about The Thing?
The Thing I thought was awesome. Jamie Bell, phenomenal. Sue Storm, Kate Mara crushed it. I thought the force fields and teleporting and all the invisibility, rather, was awesome.
The way they used her abilities was really cool.
Yeah, I really like her being able to just throw that bubble out and carry everybody.
And did you kind of see what I meant about him narrating the film for you?
So bad.
It was so awkward.
So bad.
And then finally, how about Dr. Doom? Where'd you come down on that?
I kind of felt, I think, in the same boat as you did. I was very mixed. Liked him as a character. I think the actor that played him was really, really good. The way that they find him on the planet got me very angry. They're like, there's a heat signature over there, and here comes Dr. Doom. And they just bring this guy back who they haven't seen in a year, like thinking he's not going to be angry and kill everybody. Like, good. Like, you brought back 4 individuals from this planet that all have superpowers. You think he was just chilling there with nothing? Like, come on. That made me angry. Like, come on. And then his special effects on him just kind of threw me off.
It
like
looked
when
a little
he wakes
weird.
up, it looked a little fake, like almost like a rubber suit that was over him, and it made me kind of angry.
It did look like a rubber suit.
He was very terrifying, though.
Yeah, he was scary, and I liked the way. I liked just his presence, and his whole attitude was generally like just really landed for me. But yeah, I agree with you. Everything else was kind of off Just not good.
So that was my quick review of Fantastic Four, but me and Dean kind of fell in the same boat as it.
Yep.
Do I want to see them again? No, because at the end of the movie, the line that they say in the movie, we need a name for our team, guys. Guys, this is what happens in the film. I just want
he does.
To,
he says,
spoilers if you don't want to know.
We need a name.
He goes, we're a team. We need a name. They're like, how about Johnny Storm and the Stormettes? And Sue's like, how about Sue Storm and the Stormettes? And then I'm like, this is the devil. If they say fantastic, I'm going to kill myself. And Ben goes, wow, this is pretty fantastic. And he goes, guys, that's it. And the movie ends. I wanted to kill myself.
It's really bad. I will say to that scene, though, I loved the way the Thing says it because he's got that Brooklyn accent and he looks around and he's like, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
He's awesome.
I like that.
Love him. I would just do like a Thing movie like that. I would like. He was awesome.
Jamie Bell was
and
great.
His whole backstory. He was the only backstory that had like any fleshing out with like his mother in the junkyard and like his brothers beating up on him and stuff. He was awesome in that film.
Yeah, he did great. I agree with you. But there you go. There's our part
second
2.
review.
Greg's half of our mini Fantastic Four review. So closing out the news here with a really interesting story that I think we're both pretty excited
Positive
about.
stuff.
Yeah,
now, guys.
There's a new show coming called Powerless.
What?
NBC is developing a DC Comics based comedy TV series going for the same tone as The Office, which is one of my favorite shows of all time.
So good.
With a comic book twist. It's going to be a half hour set at, quotes, one of the worst insurance companies in America.
This already sounds like the best thing ever.
I'm totally on board. And it's the last point we have here is the show will focus on the lives of ordinary, powerless people living in the world of DC's biggest superhero brands: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the whole Justice League, etc.
Can I just tell you what I thought of as soon as I was reading the synopsis of the show? I think of like somebody in the vein of Steve Carell with a camera on him, and he's just like, God damn it, Batman! Like, you had to do it this week. Like, Wayne Towers is falling in like Batman vs Superman, and they're just like, shit.
The
they're
different
all like,
ways they can use
this
world to like make like comedic moments, like it's like if they're going for The Office, they're going for that single cam comedy.
Yeah.
So like maybe they're doing the interviews and the person's just like talking to the camera, like blah 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 blah, and then in comes just a giant superhero fight in front of them, and they're like, it's another day.
They're just like they're sipping on coffee. They're like, damn it.
It's like, real. I endless positive. I like how I like the idea of a really like self-aware, just like picking apart the stupid stuff about the stuff we love. Like it's good. It makes us feel like this stuff is over the top, and like it's nice to be able to like look at it from that lens.
Like, we're nerds and we love all this stuff and we know it's unrealistic, but then to get like a realistic feel on it and to have those people be like, God damn, I'm just so excited. I hope it's more in the vein of like Parks and Rec rather than The Office. Parks and Rec I love 10 times more. Kind of like that same style though, with single cam footage and all that stuff. I just hope it's like a close like a closer group of people that I was more invested in the Parks and Rec cast than I was in the Office cast.
Okay, well, by the end, I loved The Office, and then once Steve Carell left the show, it kind of started falling apart.
Agreed.
Which was obviously easily predictable, but I think we're both really excited. Do we have any news on when this is going to come to fruition?
They're literally in talks right now. It's not even been picked up for like a pilot or anything, but they're just developing the idea and the concept of it. But they were talking to people. NBC recently had a conference before our topic of the week to get to. Spoiler, guys, D23. Disney had an expo,
to talk about
and it happened. So we're going to be doing that. But before that, NBC did a Comcast conference, and they came out and just gave this like concept of the show. And a lot of people are grabbing onto it, so I think it's going to get picked up. It just sounds awesome.
I think an argument could be made for someone to be like, well, really, another superhero TV show now with superhero movies, but this is going to be so different.
Yeah.
You know, it's a totally different side. It's a totally different look. It's like a a cynical look into that world, which I think could be really cool.
And what's really cool is if it's connected to like the Batman and Superman, this could connect ultimately to like the movies, and like they could have like episodes based on all those events still.
Yeah,
and, like it could be something
in the same vein as
cool.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but hopefully better.
Yeah, and funnier.
Yeah.
A lot funnier.
So that's it for the news, Greg. And I think this week's topic is obviously going to be D23. Why don't you take it away?
D23, D23. Oh, Disney had an expo, showed off a bunch of stuff, and now they own Marvel, so we get to talk about it on Power Up.
Good. Very good.
I feel like my songs are getting better.
They are getting better.
First off, let's show the kids one of my favorite Pixar Disney team-ups ever. This has been a long time coming, Dean. The Incredibles 2 movie poster has been revealed.
Boom.
Guys, it's coming. There it is. Dean pulled it up for you. It's just a simple logo, but it's 2. It's coming. Everybody is set to return. The original voice cast is coming back.
It's enough to let us know that it exists. You know?
That's all I needed. The Incredibles, I think the original film was in 2006.
Yeah.
So now this is going to be, what is that, 9 years?
Yeah, damn. I know. We talked about this a little bit last night on Level Up. I was 15 years old, I believe. I went and saw this in the theaters with a girl I was dating as a sophomore.
Wow. God bless.
So that was a long time ago. Fun fact about this poster.
Hit me with it.
There was a fan art made poster that looked exactly like this.
Yeah, don't know if they stole it from Disney or if Disney stole it from the fan.
I don't know. It came out a while ago though, so it's interesting. I think the colors were a little bit different, but
sad to note, the one person not confirmed in this is Iceman.
Really? Just not confirmed?
Just not confirmed, yeah. Okay. So the only thing they said was confirmed was obviously the family, and all the original voice actors are coming back for that. So
now, Sam Jackson has talked about that, though.
Yeah, for sure. He said he would definitely reprise his role as Iceman, and he would want to come back. He killed that role. That was awesome.
Yeah, he was great.
Where is my super suit?
Why do you need to know?
I love that movie. Oh, Dean, I love
good.
You. That was so good. So we have to throw that in there for you guys, even though it's not a lot. But that is coming, and we will be covering it here. That'll be a movie review that we do, maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
And definitely do the trailer for that. Even though it's animated, it might not be Marvel or DC, but it's superheroes, guys. Yeah. We cover it all here on Power Up.
Oh, yes.
Next up, this is a really cool thing for people in Hong Kong Disneyland, and just in general, because then this might come over our way.
Potentially, yeah, cool for us, too.
Very first ever Marvel ride is coming in the vein of Iron Man. And I just wanted to read you guys the quick synopsis of what the ride is because it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, it sounds good.
So here it is. It's going to appear to be a motion simulator. The riders will board Tony Stark's Iron Wing vehicle and fly to the new Hong Kong Stark Tower, where Tony has built the world's largest arc reactor at the top of the building. Hydra soon attacks, trying to steal the arc reactor, and you and Iron Man team up to stop them. You see Iron Man flying in front of you, fighting Hydra above and on the streets of Hong Kong, which is absolutely incredible. I love the motion simulators. Have you ever been? You've done Disney World, right?
I just went last fall, actually.
Yeah, the Star Tours. I think it's going to be kind of in the vein like that, where you get in like this pod with like 20 people, and then you get to go on this like what do they call that? What is the thing where you like just move in the pod?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like a 4D kind of simulator.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. So it's just really cool. Ultimately, that Disney is utilizing their Marvel property now that they own them, and this is, like I said, this is gonna be the first Marvel ride ever to appear ever in a theme park. So that's phenomenal.
Yeah, the most they did before, they had the skin wraps of the monorail in Magic Kingdom. They had the Iron Man one, and then they did the Avengers one. But this seems to be well, just glossing over really quickly. It's the first thing we see, but also potentially could mean something bigger is on the way, because we did get recent announcements of an Avatar world coming to Disney World, which is not superheroes. We're not going to talk too much about that. Star Wars world, a whole 14-acre theme park based on Star Wars. So,
guys, D23 had a lot of information. I don't know if you realize how much Disney owns of the world. It kind of made me feel insignificant because they are really successful.
It's
and I'm
becoming a much bigger event than it ever was. Right now.
For sure. But go check it out for yourselves. Other than the superhero news,
so I have a question for you.
And, like Dean said, a whole bunch of Star Wars info.
So Islands of Adventure, which is owned by Universal,
correct, Amundo.
They have a superhero island with all kinds of Marvel stuff, right?
Yes, that is not
Disney.
Yeah, that is not Disney at all.
So do we think if Disney decides to open up a Marvel-themed park in the vein of the Star Wars and Avatar and all the stuff they're doing, and do we think that they're going to be like, hey, shut it down? Can they do that?
No, I don't think so, because that's Universal, and Universal owns the rights to some of the films and some of the properties.
Do they,
and their stuff isn't like park themed. Their stuff is just individual rides. Like they have the Hulkbuster, which is just it's a Hulk coaster that is top down, shoulders down, feet dangling, and that just goes all the way around. Like
it is a themed place though. You walk in this whole island, it's all they have the Captain America cafe, they have all this kind of stuff. We went there last year.
They thought this was going to happen with Warner Brothers too. With the Harry Potter world, and now they've even expanded that. tenfold, and now they have like the Hogwarts Express, I think, that like takes you underground.
Yeah, we went on that. It was cool.
I didn't get to. I went right before they announced all that stuff. I was there literally like the month before, and I cried because Harry Potter is my favorite thing in the world.
That was a really cool experience.
Did you have butterbeer?
We had butterbeer, and it was excellent. Also, we got to ride the Hogwarts Express with a British family, so it was like the most authentic Harry Potter ride ever in our lives. And the little girl at the end said, "I like that bit with the frogs there." And I was like, I looked over at Jen, and I was like, "Ah!"
I would have kidnapped the British girl, not gonna lie. But moving back to superhero stuff, guys, as great as Harry Potter is, he should be a superhero in his own right.
He is, in his own right.
Thank you, Thunderbolt. We have the Marvel Battlegrounds playset is coming to Disney Infinity. Wicca wicca what?
Indeed.
This is going to be the first Marvel themed playset to come to Disney Infinity. This is coming to the 3.0 edition, ladies and gents, which is coming, I think, is it later this year or next year?
August 30th.
Yeah.
Next week.
It's that soon?
Next week, yeah.
I thought it was September 30th. That's my fault. This new playset will bring 4-player gameplay to the series for the first time also, ladies and gents, and feature 2 new playable characters, notably enough, Hulkbuster, which we were just talking about as the name of the coaster, and Ultron. And Ultron himself is able to control rocks and create copies of himself. As you can kind of see, he's standing on like a rock-esque platform. Both figures look phenomenal.
Yeah, they look gorgeous. I am 1,000%.
Didn't you have the image? Oh, you already have the image up.
Yeah.
As I'm talking over myself. Sorry, I'm looking at the news article. And then panel attendees were treated to a trailer for Marvel Battlegrounds in which Hulkbuster is seen beating up the Green Goblin, which sounds awesome. They're going to reveal that soon. It's probably going to be the launch trailer, I would assume, for this playset. So we'll probably see that in less than a month now. I didn't realize it was that soon. August 30th.
I'm definitely getting it. I am a big Disney Infinity fan. As I've mentioned before, I collect all the figures. These ones look awesome, dude. I really can't wait to add these to the collection. And
Hulkbuster looks sick, and Ultron especially looks. I don't know why Ultron is saying stuff to me right now.
I hope this isn't the only Marvel place that we get, because notably this is like focusing more on Star Wars, whereas 2.0 focused more on Marvel. So I'm hoping maybe they'll get like an Ant-Man set or something like that, and there would be cool too.
I would imagine they would. They for sure have to, but yeah, Disney Infinity 3.0 is focusing a lot more on Star Wars, especially with the addition of Clone Wars and Force Awakens too.
Right.
But yeah, moving right back to superhero stuff, guys. These are my 2 favorite stories that came out of D23. I'm so excited. This is the reason why we do Power Up, ladies and gents. Doctor Strange, the costume concept and the origin have been revealed, ladies and gentlemen. They presented this with the start of their Phase 3 movies. And first of all, I just want to say, if you haven't checked it out, just the excitement in the room itself when he comes on the stage and drops the mic after saying Doctor Strange and the fans cheering. It's so awesome. Go check out the footage for yourselves. But he introduced Benedict Cumberbatch, who, surprisingly enough, didn't realize he was this funny. Did a little video just telling fans about how much he's excited for the movie, all that good stuff. And he is actually doing Hamlet like on stage right now, if you didn't know that. So he's like, that's why he wasn't there himself. But like I said, he's very much in love with this character. He's going to treat it right. We didn't get to see any of the stuff because obviously it's exclusive to D23, but just the fact that they're talking about this and this is just becoming more of a big thing. The sizzle reel that was narrated by director Scott Derrickson confirmed that the origin from the comics would be the backbone of the story in the film that we're getting, in which, if you haven't read the Doctor Strange comics, Stephen Strange is a brilliant but arrogant neurosurgeon who suffers an accident that damages only his hands, causing him to lose everything and search the world for a cure for his broken, trembling hands. His journey leads him to discover the Ancient One, who teaches him the mystic arts, essentially giving him his powers as Doctor Strange. Last week, we talked about MC Escher and his kind of portrait of how he manipulates time and going through all those dimensions and whatnot. I am getting more and more stoked for Doctor Strange, and I never thought I'd be this excited for this movie.
It does sound, it's shaping up to be really something excellent. And they did confirm he will be rocking the gray highlights on the side and his traditional goatee, which is awesome news. I'm
so stoked. Benedict Cumberbatch, I wasn't sure on at first, but he's got the British.
Oh, he's perfect.
I think he's going to crush this role, and just hearing like the comedy he brings into it too. I don't really know how they're going to play Doctor Strange as a comedic actor because he's supposed to be like this arrogant prick. At least that he is in the comics, but maybe they'll make him more in the vein of Ant-Man.
Well, I think that could work because Tony Stark in Iron Man 1 was an arrogant prick, and he was hilarious.
That's true. This could be their new Iron Man for Phase 3. That's very true. Good point. But yeah, I'm so stoked for Doctor Strange. I would assume you are too.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the biggest news for us coming out of D23, Dino,
Hold that thought. Before we end on this, I almost forgot to add in here. We did get confirmation that something you're obviously very excited about, and I hope to be excited about. I don't know because I haven't played it yet, but the addition of Big Hero 6, which is superhero related.
Oh my god!
To the Kingdom Hearts video game. We were talking about
this before the show. That's why I got so excited. We forgot to edit in. But yeah, Big Hero 6. This was Disney Pixar 2. I believe it released. Was it this year? It was this year.
Yeah.
I think I saw it this year.
I don't know.
But Big Hero 6 is also going to be coming to Disney Infinity.
Yep.
It's going to be coming, and they also announced a crossover with Kingdom Hearts, guys, my favorite video game series of all time, and the Keyblade is going to make an appearance in Disney Infinity, so that's awesome in and of itself. The best part about this is they then announced, just a little spin-off for you, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have Big Hero 6 as a world in it.
Yep.
And not only is it going to have it as a world, but it's going to be continuing with the writers of Big Hero 6. A sequel is going to be in continuity. It's going to be canon and a sequel to the original Big Hero 6 film. The best part.
So they're writing the sequel within this game?
Yep.
So I really am hoping that we get to see that sequel in the movies, because I really actually loved this movie.
Big Hero 6, and that's what I wanted to most of all like exclaim with this news is that Kingdom Hearts is related to Big Hero 6 in such a big way, and I never pieced it together until they announced this news. But Big Hero 6, if you haven't seen the film yet, is essentially about this very, very tight friendship, and then ultimately even about light overcoming darkness. And Kingdom Hearts is a literally tit for tat that exact same story.
Yeah.
It's about best friends coming together and be throwing the light over the dark. So I'm so excited for this. I think this is the perfect crossover. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Big Hero 6, go do yourself a favor and watch that.
That's
and if you are dumb like Dino over here and haven't played Kingdom Hearts, do yourself a favor and go do that. Because that makes sense.
I bought them. I'm getting to it, Greg.
You better get to it quicker. Finish Tomb Raider and go play Sora and the Keyblade, because then you're going to come on this show and you're going to be like, Greg, I was so sorry.
I will. We'll talk about it. Even though it's not superhero related, we can talk about it.
That's going to be...
We'll make an exception.
But back to the biggest news out of D23, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Kingdom Hearts might have been my biggest news, but we'll keep going with this. The first ever Captain America Civil War footage, guys, in a trailer form was shown. Unfortunately, we don't have the trailer ourselves, but somebody that attended it from IGN gave us the whole synopsis here. I will read it. We're gonna unpack this with you guys. This is our main focus for our topic of the week this week. So I say we read a bit of it, Dean. We'll unpack it, and then we'll just go throughout each little tidbit here that they have.
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. So first of all, I want to point out that Falcon, Anthony Mackie, and Chris Evans, Captain America himself, were here to present the footage to the fans, which, like I said, if you haven't seen that, they did release video of them coming out on the stage. It's just so awesome. Really gave Chris Evans a standing ovation. Like, that guy is going to be famous for the rest of his life just for Captain America. It's so cool. So the footage opens with Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon dealing with Crossbones as the villain attempting to blow up a truck. During the fight, Crossbones tosses a magnetic explosive at Captain America's shield, and the hero throws it into the air so that the explosion avoids the crowd. Crossbones removes his mask and reveals his scarred face, turning to Cap and saying, quote, "He remembered you, you know, your little pal, Bucky," end quote. What?
Yep.
What? Okay. So can we just talk about this real quick? Because I already have goosebumps on my arms just reading it, because I got really into that reading and I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, totally.
So Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon are trio as normal in Captain America films. They're all together. They're all best friends. ScarJo, Chris Evans, and Anthony Mackie. They're fighting Crossbones, which we saw him, a little bit of him in the hospital, which he was recovering a wee bit in. What film was that? That was like a sequence, not really a film.
It was at the end. Well, we saw a lot of him in Winter Soldier, and then at the end of Winter Soldier, they revealed he was alive in the hospital, all backed up.
So now I'm assuming he would like start off this film. I'm assuming this is kind of like the opening sequence.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah. And then he brings up Bucky.
Yeah.
And I feel like this just makes it known that I feel like this whole Civil War story is going to have the Bucky secondary story of trying to bring Bucky back to the Bucky we knew in the first Captain America. Do you agree with me there?
Yeah, which is, I think, is great. They just have to really balance that, because there's so much going on. There's going to be so much going on already with Steve and Tony. So, and
let alone, like you keep mentioning, we always forget the Shield dilemma. Right. Shield has such a big part in the Civil War comic book, and like now, what are they? Like we don't know what they are.
I think if they just keep focus on these three big moving cogs in the machine. Just keep focus on those three big elements and just constantly have them keep moving. I think they'll be okay. They just got to not get too wrapped up in all the other little threads and worried about building into the next, you know, Infinity Wars, which is, it seemed like what the big problem was with Age of Ultron.
Agreed with you, sir. Continuing on here, guys, this is a lot, so just bear with us as we get through all this. But as I'm reading the footage, I don't know if you guys can notice the grin if you're watching the video, but I'm very stoked. The footage then cut to the scene from the credits of Ant-Man, where Cap and Falcon are talking to Bucky. Bucky tells Cap that he remembers his mom's name was Sarah and that he used to stuff newspapers in his shoes. Captain America smiles, knowing that some trace of his old friend is still in there. That's just an awesome line. I love that. I think that's so cool. I think it's so cool that Bucky and, like, at the end of the day, Bucky and Steve are just best friends. You know what I mean? Like, this would be like if Dean got brainwashed and I had to go save him, and then if Dean said something cool, oh no, I feel like you would be Cap, I would be Bucky, right? Yeah. I feel like I'm definitely Bucky. I'm like evil. You're
not evil. I think our personalities just
resemble them more.
Resemble well, like even from back in the day. Not even trying to say like, oh, because I would be the superhero. Because I think just because, like, from back in the day, like in the beginning of a First Avenger, is Bucky seemed to be the more outgoing, and Cap was kind of very
yeah, that's true. That's very
solemn to himself. You know what I mean? Which is definitely more of our style.
I'm Bucky. I'm definitely Bucky. Yeah. We then see General Ross, which is William Hurt reprising his role from Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk, which they then switched to Mark Ruffalo. But that character is so canon because that movie's so canon. We discovered that.
Notably, they said this is going to be a very different General Ross as well.
Yeah. He's telling Captain America how the country owes him an impossible debt, but for some reason he's not a hero now, but a vigilante is what they're calling him, which is very weird. I don't know how you could ever consider Captain America a vigilante. It then cuts to shots of Captain America and Tony Stark talking about what comes next. Tony talks about how they're operating with oversight. So how does that make them different from villains? Quote, "That's what this is about to you. Protection," says Captain America. While continuing to argue, Iron Man tells Cap, quote again, "Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth." Just sounds like this is perfect. Like, I'm so excited for them. Their banter is always the best. What was the line that he gives in Ultron? He's like, "Oh, you'll just lead the team and I'll supply all the money and give you all your equipment."
He's like, actually he's in charge. I just pay for everything and make everybody look cool.
Exactly. It's the best. RDJ is just so good at delivering those double-sided compliments. He's the best.
It's him. He's playing himself. Pretty much.
He's just such a, oh my god, he's the best. So how do we feel about, let's break down both of those things. Okay. This is going to be the divide, I think. Ultimately, I like that they gave that little thread in there to show the breakup of RDJ and Chris Evans having their little divorce here. And then General Ross, how do we feel about him coming back?
I think it's great. I love that they're actually making good on their promise and including the Incredible Hulk movie solo film into the into the overall arcing story here, because it's really easy to be like, no, that one was canon. The Ed Norton one was canon, and then never like do anything to give evidence to that. But it seems like they're really making good on that, which is great. I love that.
Which is very exciting. I agree with you, sir. Next up here, the footage then rolls into quick shots of the heroes delivering some pretty great lines. Notably enough, they gave us some quotes here. Quote, "In this job, you try to save everybody you can. Sometimes that doesn't mean everybody," says a very stoic Captain America. Great line there. We see a quick shot of Black Panther, but no sign of Spider-Man in the trailer. I wanted to break this part down, especially with you. Black Panther, like we just saw the image of, we both kind of described what we were thinking we're going to see of him. Spider-Man, I think, is going to be the end of the film. I think he's going to do the mask reveal of making that his big pivotal scene in this movie of No Secret Identities Peter Parker, and I think it's going to be a one-off thing, and then I think he's going to be the end credit sequence of this movie.
What do you think the end credit sequence will be then?
I think there's going to be the two-part, like in Ant-Man. I think at the end we're going to see Spider-Man and Peter Parker. This is Greg's theories, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. New segment. I think we're going to see Peter Parker in New York City, and maybe we do like a cameo from Daredevil or something in that. Something cool. Something like that we were not expecting. And then at the very end, we're going to see something leading up to Infinity Wars, obviously, because we have to have that at the very, very end credit sequence.
I think you're right about both of those things. The only thing I would disagree with is that I think they're probably going to show Spider-Man more early on in the film, because he does have to go through that. I mean, even if he's only in this a little bit, he does have to go through that transformation of swapping sides, because he begins on Tony's side and then he winds up on Cap's side. And then, most importantly, if they are going to touch on or do a story on the death of Captain America, Spider-Man, in the aftermath of everything, is really one of the ones who takes it the hardest. He goes, he wears the symbiote suit. He gets really, really dark and depressed after a while. So I don't know if they're going to do all that, but that would be my guess personally.
That would be. I totally forgot about that. I forgot he switches sides multiple times. So yeah, if anything, they'll show him early on in the film. But I think his actual like revealing that thing, I think it's gonna be like they're gonna like the Avengers gonna be tuning into the news and he's gonna have like a reveal on the news or something. I don't think it's gonna be like in person. I think he's gonna make a very big deal about that. Maybe in New York City. I hope that's still his city, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Man.
Still his city. I wonder if they'll touch on that too. The whole Battle of New York and Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
That's why I'm thinking Daredevil has to make a cameo at some point, because Daredevil right now is the only property we've seen in New York City other than the Battle of New York. And Daredevil's kind of cleaning up after the aftermath of like all these gangs rising up to corruption and power and being able to take over all these damaged parts of the city and renewing them.
And they reference that battle directly in Daredevil.
Yeah. Yeah. At this time, they could totally give us like maybe like a flashback even of Peter Parker, like growing up, he gets bit by the spider, something real quick, but like him seeing like the destruction of Battle of New York. And then like we flash forward to him like being like, you know what? I'm on team whatever and revealing himself. I'm Peter Parker, no secret identities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like that. I would like that a lot. I'm excited for Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I know I keep saying like
I'm excited just
I know.
for Spider-Man.
I want it so bad right now. I wish I was there and saw the trailer. Continuing on here. Black Widow and Hawkeye are caught on opposite sides of each other. Very nice to note that maybe our list of the teams here were correct. They're on opposite sides of the Civil War and about to fight. The first quote from Black Widow asking to Hawkeye, quote, "We're still friends, right?" And then Hawkeye replying with, "Depends on how hard you hit me."
That's really funny. That's actually a great line.
I'm so and they're like legitimate best friends. Like outside of everything, like him and her, like just like she's best friends with his family. We saw in Age of Ultron, like when they get to the Safeway house, like she is like the aunt to his children.
Right.
Like outside of the superhero games,
playful
like
banter, and do we think like maybe they know something? Like maybe is there some underlying thing? Like I know what side you're actually on, or do we think this is full on like we're done?
That's what I was going to say to you, is I think Black Widow's a triple agent in this. I think she's going to try to pretend to turn on Cap and all them, be on Team Iron Man, but just to get intelligence from them, knowing what they're going to plan next. And I think Hawkeye's kind of like, listen, like, I try to make this look good, but like, don't go too hard. And then she's kind of like, we're still besties after this. Pinky rings.
I'm totally with you, dude. And it makes so much sense. It's such her character to do something like that.
Oh, 100%.
Also, if we go back to Iron Man 2, towards the end of Iron Man 2, when Pepper leaves the office and he's like, "Oh, you're unbelievable." He's like, "You're a triple imposter." Yeah. And like that's a direct like foreshadowing to what could potentially happen to him. So maybe even then he'll already be kind of on his toes and maybe like point out like before things all wrap up, he's like, "I know what you're doing." You know what I mean? Sure. Which would be a really cool moment for him.
Shout out to Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper. We love you, boo-boo. I loved her as Pepper. You don't like Gwyneth Paltrow?
Very, well, I'm not going to get into all that here, but she has said some very insulting things to mothers.
Oh, outside. Yeah, outside.
Yeah, not good there, Pepper. Yeah. Tell you what, loved her at the end of Iron Man 3, though.
Agreed.
Awesome moment.
That's why Iron Man's in our list of MCU movies. Just saying. The footage ended, guys. This is my favorite part of the whole trailer. The footage ended with Hawkeye opening a van, revealing Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. Yes! He's absolutely starstruck by Captain America. He's shaking as he meets him and fumbles the entire meeting. And this is his quote. "You know a lot of super people, so thanks for thinking of me." What? Like what? He's just so good. I think Paul Rudd nails Ant-Man. I didn't know how that movie was going to turn out, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Of course, Captain America: Civil War is going to open in theaters on May 6th of 2016 to end that up. But what do we? I'm ready to see that trailer. I want to see it for myself.
When do we think we'll get a trailer?
I'm thinking we're going to see it. I think they're going to release it as a one-off, kind of like they did Deadpool. But I think they're going to do it. They need to space out their stuff.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe we get it with the Deadpool movie in the beginning. Like as one of those. I think they're gonna have to segue it with something else. I don't think they can do it.
What comes out? What's the next Marvel film to come out? Is that Captain America?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so maybe they have to do it as a one-off.
So they're gonna need a trailer somewhere in there.
They're gonna have to. Yeah, they're gonna be dropping trailers like
somewhere soon. My guess would probably be around Christmas, if not maybe even the Super Bowl spot could be.
Ooh, that would be cool.
They did that with Captain America.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
So we'll see, I guess. But I'm excited, dude. I cannot wait. This is, a well-known fact. Civil War is like even Jen, who I don't know if I ever referenced. Jen is my girlfriend. To all of you who don't know,
we love Jennifer.
She is not interested in this world at all. She comes with me to see the movies just because she's great. But even she knows Civil War is like my favorite series in the books of all time.
It's like your butterscotch peanut butter.
It is like my butterscotch peanut butter. So I can't wait. I really, really am just beside myself with excitement right now for this.
In the same vein of this, guys, we hope you enjoyed Topic of the Week. Let us know what you thought of it in the comments below. Let us know what was your favorite announcement from the D23 Expo, because like I said, there's a ton more than just superhero stuff. Oh, yeah. So just comment with us. We all comment in the videos with you guys. Dino and I are both in there. Even sometimes we comment on just ourselves. So go and enjoy our witty banter. And next up, we have our fan question segment. Which, of course, you guys can all send us your questions, comments, feedback, and concerns by emailing us at our email address. That is powerup@thelevelupnetwork.com. Just like Rick did. You guys may know him in the YouTube's Chatosphere and on the Twitter sphere as GFN2112. And he asked us, Dean, do you want to hear the question?
I am on the edge of my seat right now.
You're the devil. I love you. He wants to ask us, which do we like more? The Avengers, not the Avengers. They don't exist.
They're like a group of people who come and fill your soda machines and like your $1 Twix bars. This looks like a job for the Avengers. Or no, they'd probably be like a group of like
gotcha, Iron Man,
dudes from like Brooklyn or something, like, hey Jerry, it's time to call the Avengers.
Can we make this a thing, please?
Please do.
If we're part of any superhero team, it's the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I'm literally giving you Twix bars. Okay. So which do we like more, the Avengers or the Justice League? To take it even a step further, which property do we like more? Or was that the property? Marvel or DC? What do we call that? The brand? The studio?
It would be the publisher, yeah.
The publisher, that's the word I'm looking for.
I think
Marvel or DC. And then he wants to know also, we have to back our teams because which would win in a crossover fight between the two?
That's really hard. All of that is very hard.
While you're thinking of this, can I shout out somebody real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Guys, go to the YouTube sphere. You're going to type in the search bar Nightwing Original Series. And when you get to that screen, there is some fan videos that they did on this YouTube channel. You can find it just by, like I said, YouTubing that. I'm not referencing the kid's name because I forgot it like an idiot that I am. But if you go there, they recently are doing crossover fights between DC and Marvel characters. The most recent they put up is the Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. It's a very funny fan film. It's awesome. You have to go check it out. It's really, really cool. And they're doing The Flash and Quicksilver is their next one, which is going to premiere later this fall. So they're planning on doing this as a mainstay series on the YouTube channel. It's just big ups to them. They're really cool people. They have full costumes. It's what is it called? Superhero versus superhero? It's something random, something very generic. But the first one
is the same guy who made the Nightwing YouTube series?
Original TV series, yeah. It's like him and his buddies that did it together.
I actually have not seen this. I would like to check this out myself.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Definitely go check it out. But yeah, I'd go watch that fight. That's really, really cool. Me personally, I'll start us off on this already. I'm a DC guy.
Okay.
As much as I love Marvel, DC's heroes cater to me more. I'm a big, big fan, if you haven't already noticed, of Batman. Batgirl is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, and Batman kind of wins the role for me overall. Superman is a very underrated superhero, I think. I think he's a great one out there.
Yeah.
I think he's a great one as well, and I think some of the stories of him when he's just treated more like a human. Greg Miller, a big person out there in the nerd industry, talks about it all the time, but my favorite stories of Superman are when they treat him like a human being and not like an alien from outer space, and when you bring it down to that level, I consider some of those stories to be phenomenal. And then just to add in the vein of that, my favorite television shows on television, The Arrow, The Flash. I just really like TV series more than I like movies, just because I can stay with them a little bit longer and not cry after every film and wait like we're doing with Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So for me personally, as of this point in my life, I'm definitely going DC. And then in a crossover battle, come on, DC hasn't won. And I just want to point out, no spoilers for the.
I think you're really underselling the. I think you're really underselling the Avengers right now, though.
Well, let me know what your favorite is, and then we're gonna pit up who we think would fight each other from Justice League and the Avengers. Like who would
that seems that's going to be a whole nother topic of the week, dude. That's going to take.
Just real quick. Like who would verse who? Like obviously you got Green Arrow versus Hawkeye.
Okay. Well, all right. Let me start by saying this. I'm so torn right now because I don't know. I don't know if I have a preference one or the over the other.
Don't
you know what I mean?
out.
I'm not copping out. I'm going to make a choice.
Okay.
But that said, I really love DC and I really love Marvel, like pretty.
Oh, I love them both
pretty equally though. Like I don't really come down on like, I've never been able to really say like hands down like, oh Marvel no problem or oh yeah DC easy. Like I love them both for different reasons, but
Agreed.
gun to the head, I'm going Marvel.
Yeah, I figured you would. That's why I had to go DC. The thing for me on the section is like, I really appreciate Marvel's movies. I love Marvel's films. The television shows haven't done it for me. It just most recently Daredevil did. But this universe that DC's now building with Supergirl potentially, and then the Arrow and the Flash, I'm just like, that's nerd heaven for me. Yeah. Not only are you giving me crossovers between the two superheroes, they're off-key superheroes. They're not like Batman and Superman that are crossing over. And then you're able to cross them over with all these other characters, and it's just elongated movies that I love, and it's beautiful.
It's interesting because Marvel's kind of done that with their B-list characters in the films, which they didn't have. Right now it seems weird to say because these guys are their A-list characters, but it wasn't always the case. It would have been the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. These were all their big properties that they were forced to sell off when they were approaching bankruptcy back in the day. So they had to make do with what they had, with the likes of Iron Man. Nobody gave a shit about Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. Captain America, all of the Thor. Nobody cared about any of these guys. So
very true.
They made a whole like new
universe relevant,
new universe, a whole new image outlook on the Marvel properties by using their B-list characters, and then DC went and did the same exact thing but with television. Which is really, really cool that both of them were able to do that. But yeah, I'm coming down Marvel because I just grew up more closely to those characters. When everybody didn't give a shit about Iron Man, Captain America, I was at home reading their books. So I just feel like I relate a little bit more to some of them, and especially the ones like Spider-Man who are kind of immature, but also at the end of the day like know what's right and wrong. I relate to that big time, and it's hard for me to make that decision because Batman is like my dude. But as far as pitting them against one another, I don't know. That's a really tough fight, but I gotta say with big hitters like Thor, Hulk, Vision, Scarlet Witch, like I kind of feel like Avengers is gonna come out on top.
You have to think though, Superman and Wonder Woman are gods.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
They are gods. Green Lantern can create anything. What I just wanted to get from you is like in like one-on-one battles, who do you think would verse each other? We got Green Arrow, obviously, and Hawkeye. I think we would do like the one person I don't know who we'd put up against is Black Widow. I was thinking Hawkgirl.
I don't know who Superman would go against. I have to say Thor off the top of my head.
Superman and Thor for sure. They're both like the only godlike people.
And then we got like Iron Man and Captain America, though.
Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark, billionaire playboy geniuses.
And then who do you pin against Cap?
Captain America would be Green Lantern.
You think so?
I would. That's the one I could think of.
I think Captain America would fuck Green Lantern up, honestly.
Or Captain America and the Flash, maybe, because they're both like humans that got genetically altered.
Then you got Quicksilver, though.
Oh fuck, true. Scarlet Witch and Wonder Woman, I think, would make a good pairing.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I'd watch that fight.
I like that fight.
Spider-Man and the Flash.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one a lot.
That should be a goddamn cartoon. I would watch that shit.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think we had a good. The only one we haven't found is Cap for.
What about the Hulk?
Ooh.
Hulk's that ace up the sleeve, man. Wolverine? Oh, I don't know, Greg. I don't know. That's tough.
Maybe Marvel would win in the fight. No, because I just think, I don't know. I feel like Batman before going into the fight would just be like,
that's the thing. Everybody. Batman's a real critical thinker. He's a detective.
Yeah,
he can analyze
I feel like
everything.
he could take like 7 of them down like this.
But with that, Captain America might not be as like crazy intelligent as Batman, but he's a man of war. He's a captain. He was a captain of an army. He's
a strategist.
He knows war strategies. He knows patterns. He can easily utilize their weaknesses and be like, well, Wolverine, you got this, so you get on this, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say we answered Rick's questions. I'm more of a DC guy. You're more of a Marvel guy. That's just based on the comics we both grew up reading different ways. Yeah. That's where we're going to fall on your question, Rick. As for the debate of who would win, the Avengers or the Justice League, maybe with the Avengers' help, we're going to fall on TBD. This is going to be to be dated. We're going to come back to this at a later date.
I really think we should do a really serious, maybe as well. What we were talking about before this, guys, heads up, is doing exclusive Patreon episodes, full episodes, an extra episode a month just for you who support us on patreon.com/levelupnetwork. So we literally just talked about it before we shot this episode. So if we have more details on that soon, if and when that's going to be a thing, we'll let you know. But Something
For
like
sure.
that could easily fill out a whole episode.
Oh, 100%. That could fill out 2 hours. Let's
Yeah.
be real. Agreed. But Rick, we hope we answered your question to the fullest ability that we were able to. We will come to that other question at a later date, although we did come up with the Avengers out of this. So thank you for that,
It was
Rick.
a good day in that respect.
Everybody give your props to Rick on the Twitter sphere and in the YouTube comments below. Let us know what your favorite property is, your favorite publisher. Is it Marvel? Is it DC? And let us know why. We'd like to hear those reasons as well. If you'd like to ask us a question or give us feedback, do what Rick did, GFN2112, and email us at our email address. That is powerup@thelevelupnetwork.com, spelled exactly as it sounds for you audio listeners.
Nailed it. That was perfect. Greg.
Thank you. I'm not going to say I'm good at that, but
Perfection.
like,
but that does it, guys. This has been another episode of Power Up. So we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Subscribe to us on YouTube to join us every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Newly announced, if you're a Patreon member, you don't have to wait that long. You can get
when
this
do
bad
they
boy,
get it?
Tuesdays. I don't have a time, but you'll get it on Tuesdays. That's a whole 5 days earlier than everybody else. And that's video and audio.
Oh my God! These kids are we're spoiling the kids, Dean. We're spoiling them.
If you guys would like to get the content early, all you have to do is become a patron for $1 or more.
$1. That's
$1 is going to get you the content early, though. There's no bar on it. If you even support us just with $1 a month, you'll get this 5 days early, and then potentially a whole nother extra episode a month.
Do we call our power uppers, so to speak, the Avengers? Do we make that a thing?
I don't even need to think about it. That's a thing, yeah.
You guys are now known as the Avengers.
So thank you guys so much again. You can catch this on YouTube on Saturday mornings at 10, and if you're a patron, Tuesdays, or you can head over to SoundCloud and iTunes for the audio version of the show and the rest of the Level Up Network shows by subscribing to us there. Also, if you can't get enough of us here or there, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at @thebeats_NJ, and my compadre Greg is at Greg Virga.
Thank you, sir. You guys can catch up with my boils and my recovery, as well as my escapades out in the drunken sphere of my town called Bellport.
Loved it. That's it for episode 4, guys. It was a good episode. I enjoyed myself.
This was a good one. I just think we had D23 made me happy.
Same.
Power Up makes me happy. And you know what makes me the happiest?
What do you got?
That's you, Dino.
Please, my heart. I can't even say it. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, everybody, power up.
Power up.
The Avengers will be so proud of you for that song.
Thank you. Thank you. I went outside to get myself a popsicle, and I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." That's my favorite. I love it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
She said, "Ain't nobody got time for that." She's like smoking in the interview. I don't know why they picked her of all people in the interview. She's like,
she's awesome. Look at her, dude.
I went myself to get myself a cold popsicle. I turned around and I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire." Ain't nobody got time for that. That's my favorite. I love her. I love her. I want to know her name. I want to be her friend.
You could probably find her name out, I would bet.
I can become her husband.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, God. Remember when we did a show called Power Up?